Hello, my name is Connor Hunt. I am a student at Loy Norrix High School, currently taking a computer science and software engineering CTE class at Gull Lake High School. Today I'm going to be covering GitHub and other such things. Firstly, I'm going to open up my Linux Hypervisor Type 2, which you can see I already have opened and set up. Now before we do anything, we are going to take a snapshot in it using the Hypervisor Manager in case anything goes wrong. We can always revert back to this snapshot. We will just call this pre-merge, perhaps add the day. And just in case anything goes wrong, we will have this to fall back on. And while that is working, we will wait a moment. Alright, it is done, and now we are going to go through some of GitHub Desktop. Firstly, we are going to be starting with the welcome branch, which is the first branch we worked on. If we click here, we can check out the commit to see what it was like, and if we log into if we go into our IDE, we could see exactly what it was like. Now this opens as a head, basically just saying this isn't actually what it's like, it's just how it looked at that point. You can see some basic stuff. We go up one more, we see this one adds a couple print lines. This one adds some more stuff, like importing libraries, a couple comments, the ellipsis system, and if we activate it, it's pretty basic system so far. Takes quite a while for it to go, but it works. Then we have this commit, which just fixed some things, added spacing to a couple of things that needed it. This one, we had ChatGPT add comments to the code. As you can see, this explains basically everything. And then right here, this is the last iteration, so we could just double click into it, and this is how it currently is. We had ChatGPT add color, so if we press play, you can see all the lines now have color. Next, we're going to view our weather branch, in which we have the first commit, which was a very basic thing. You got the imported libraries and defining a list of weather forecasts and weather conditions. Then, with this commit, we defined a vehicle response system to check if weather alert was equal to snowing, which when run, if it's equal to snowing, then it will print that line as seen right there. Then, right here, we added elifs and else statements to make sure that it prints for everything else: rainy, icy, blizzard, snowing, windy, everything. Had to go through some iterations there. Then we had ChatGPT update the branch with comments to explain everything. Everything I've already said, but everything does. Then we added a sleep function to make it take breaks between the lines, like that. Plus the speed, which you can see right here, right below each of them. For each iteration, it's different. 65 miles for that. For rainy, sunny doesn't have anything. Windy is 70. And then we have the most current version, which is this, which we had ChatGPT make the code more efficient. It still works about the same, but is just more efficient with spacing and such, along with all the new comments. Then we also merged both welcome and weather into beta test dev. So if we check this out, you'll see it is just the exact same as welcome, but if we go into the merge weather into beta test dev, you can see it is both welcome and weather. So if we hit run, it will run welcome, which will take a while, and then it will run weather like that. Now if we want to test all the iterations here without having to wait for that, we can just comment it out by using 3 quotation marks at the beginning of what we want to cut out and at the end of what we want to comment out. And now the code won't run it, so we could quickly test all the iterations like that. But we are going to remove that. And then if we go up, we could see our gasoline branch. Actually, first we could see that beta test dev still has all this because we haven't had anything else. It is also the exact same as main because we merged beta test dev into main, so they're the exact same. You never want to actually edit anything that is in main, only edit in beta test dev and then push it to main. Next, we are going to check out our gasoline branch. So right here we see the first one, which is just a very basic 2 print functions, nothing much. Then we added some libraries and defined a list of gas levels. Then we tested gas level gauge, see if it works correctly, which it does. Then we add the gas stations function, which just adds a list of gas stations from a list. And then we can run it and we can see the 2 different iterations down here. Then we can also check the next commit, in which we added gas level alert, which will add a couple extra lines along with the sleep function between each of the things. At this point, it only works for 3 of the 6 options, and it will list a random gas station with a rounded number for 2 of them, as seen right there. Then we added elif and else statements so that there's everything there, so that every option now has its own lines, as shown right here. And then we updated spacing, make sure everything is spaced out correctly, nothing's too close together. Then we had ChatGPT make the code more efficient. As seen here, it's all a lot more efficient, it works better, the spacing is a lot quicker. Then, in the final iteration we updated it with comments to explain what everything does. So if we go to this, you can see there's some comments to explain a couple things right here and here. And now we are going to actually merge gasoline into beta test dev and then merge that into welcome main. So first we are going to full screen both of these. Pull up this. Go to local. You can see gasoline. We need to be in the one we want to merge into, which is beta test dev. Then either right click and hit merge gasoline into beta test dev or drag and drop onto beta test dev. So merge gasoline into beta test dev. Now it says there are merge conflicts, which we will go to PyCharm. And you can see it put gasoline all the way down here. Now we don't actually want gasoline down there, we want gasoline in the middle, so we are going to cut it out right here and place it in between these two, which is right about here. So add a little spacing and paste it in. Everything looks about right. Now that that's done, we can remove these because we already have these libraries imported. Remove any spacing issues in the code. Delete the merge conflict messages in the top, the middle, and the bottom. Check the code to see if it works properly. And also quickly comment out the welcome code so that it does not delay testing the iterations. So now we just test the next things. 3/4 of a tank, rainy, yeah, everything works just about fine. So now we remove that and remove this. And finally do one last check with everything together. Yep, everything works just fine. So we go back to Git Kraken, mark it the conflict is resolved, commit and merge, and now gasoline is in beta test dev. And now from there we want to merge that into main. So we go into main, drag and drop beta test dev onto main, merge beta test dev into main, and it will do it automatically because they're the exact same. And from there we are going to retest on main just to make sure everything is working just fine together. Yep, everything appears to be working fine. So now we are going to push that to the cloud because currently it is only on the computer. And then we're going to check GitHub to see if it is there. So we go to the repository we just uploaded to, go to blackwidow.py, and we can see that the main has the updated code with gasoline right here. We check beta test dev, it will have the exact same stuff because they're the same, and gasoline should still be fine. Nothing has changed, yep, and everything is there. While we are here, we are also going to update our Trello, which is for project management. As you can see, everything is currently out of to do and is being done or is already done. So if we go to gasoline, we can mark off the last thing on our checklist, which is merge beta test dev and check iterations, which is done. So now we can take that, move it into done. Then with merge branches, we did this and did that. So now that is done. So now everything is done. You know, it's good to have this to keep track of everything and make sure everything gets done on time and in a timely fashion. Next, we are going to actually exit our Linux VM and pull up our Windows virtual machine. So we power this off and pull up our Windows VM. I already had this running. Right Control F to full screen. Then we get everything together. This has Visual Code Studio and GitHub Desktop instead of PyCharm and GitKraken. They are very similar, however. And now you can see in GitHub Desktop we have the option to pull origin, because this currently does not have the most updated code because it was just uploaded. So if we hit pull, everything should be being pulled from the internet. You can see the new stuff we added. We go to Visual Code Studio, we can see everything has been added. If we go to main, we can see main now has everything together. And we can also see that beta test dev also has everything together. Now, one more thing is that while in GitHub, you can actually program in there, but you cannot run the code. So if we go back here, go to this, and go to something that isn't main, because you do not want to program in main, you can hit F11 to full screen and then edit the code from here. If you go to the editor, and if you edit the code, you can commit the changes or just cancel the changes. I'm not going to change anything for now because I don't need to. You could see and do one last check here through main to make sure that the code works on other things other than PyCharm. Code appears to be working fine. Yep, everything is running great. Iterations appear to be working fine. And that is it. And that is everything. Thank you all for taking the time to watch my introduction to programming vlog, and I hope you will watch the rest of my vlogs. Thank you.